Hi, we're at the Whitefish Theatre Company, and I thought we'd take a little look backstage to see what goes into making all the costumes for our upcoming holiday show, Miracle on 34th Street. So we're gonna go meet our costumer.
I'm Sarah. I'm the costume designer for Whitefish Theatre Company for the 2017-2018 season. Right now we're working on Miracle on 34th Street, so everyone's getting in the holiday spirit. Let's go take a look at how we're putting things together. A lot of these things begin with a concept, and in the case of Miracle on 34th Street, we have Santa Claus and his elves. Well, that's pretty creative fun. So for the elves, I actually started with sketch.
We're gonna zoom in.
For both girl elves and boy elves, played by some wonderful kids in the community. We sampled some fabric, so we knew the colors and textures that we wanted to go along with that. And then on this rack, you can see already in production, we've got some elf tunics going. Our head elf is looking majestic and jingly. And our girl elves are looking pretty great as well. And none of this would be possible without volunteers in our community, our own personal workshop of elves, I feel like, who come in. There they are on the wall, these fabulous ladies who come in and sew and put a lot of time and effort and love into bringing these shows to life.
And so you have a couple other costumes you were interested in showing us too.
Yeah.
What you think about when you have people on stage?
Well, we're thinking about color and how things move, and it's not just putting clothes on a person, but also telling their story. So for that in particular, I'd love to show you Susan, the main little girl in our play. When we first see Susan, she's a little cynical, doesn't have much of an imagination, and is not really open to the idea of Santa Claus or make-believe or anything that's unrealistic. So when we first see her, she's kind of got just kind of a low-key drab, pretty much in contrast to like all these other bright colors you can see for the kids that I've got hanging over here on the children's clothes rack. It's going to take more effort for her to believe. And so as she starts to soften up and Kris Kringle comes into her life, who we know is the real Santa Claus, you can kind of see that in the colors transform, the hard edges kind of soften, and then by the end of the show, we may even see her in full Christmas spirit.
Yes, that's beautiful. And then, of course, it wouldn't be the show without the star of the show.
Without Santa Claus.
Well, let's go see how
Let's go
you
check
thought
it
about
out.
Santa.
And Kris Kringle, the real Santa, we needed him to be really special and nostalgic and just kind of magical in his
It's
own right.
beautiful. So how many people were involved making that costume?
Making this costume, I actually have one dedicated person
Cool.
who was willing to tackle this for me, and she put quite a lot of time and effort into that with beautiful results, as you can see. So it went from my head to the director's approval to Linda's hands, and she brought it to life.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Sarah. It's just
Thanks.
a little bit of a glimpse into a costumer's life.
Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you at the show.
Perfect.